What is the origin of the Star of the East? When we consider the Star of the East, we want to consider Genesis 1:14 and the lights that people were told to follow in order to determine the time. There were no clocks in ancient times, and the ancient people they were instructed to look at the universe to determine the time. Is there anything wrong with looking at the universe to determine the time, or should we only use clocks? And that we should consider that the lights of the universe, Genesis chapter 1, verse 14, is either the Sirius or Venus, the evening star and the morning star. Something else we want to consider is that the spiritual system of Islam, their holy days are generally centered around the moon phases, as is Judaism. The moon was created after Venus and the Sirius. So please consider these things as you do your study, as you look into the Star of Bethlehem. I'm going to post more videos as time moves on. This is Nisi, the administrator. Some people know me as Diane. Thank you for listening. Peace and strength to everybody. Please feel free to post your comments.